Did you know that more than 68% of men over the age of 60 admit they have felt that their body no longer responds the way it used to? This happens even when they eat well, sleep enough, and stay physically active. But what troubles them is not their age. It is the feeling of becoming unfamiliar with themselves. The body still functions, but the connection feels missing, as if a part inside is quietly pulling away without warning. If you are listening to this and realize you have felt the same way, I invite you to stay until the end of this video, because today I want to share something special with you. It is a natural oil that may seem simple at first, but it has the potential to restore vitality, support urinary function, improve physical awareness, and help you regain your natural body rhythm. If you are over 60, please watch this video all the way through. It might change the way you take care of your health every day. Which country are you watching from? Leave us a comment below. And if you find this helpful, don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us. The first benefit, stimulating circulation. There is one factor that many people overlook, yet it plays a major role in men's vitality after the age of 60, and that is blood circulation in the lower abdominal area. When blood flow slows down, the cells in this highly sensitive region begin to lack nutrients and oxygen. As a result, the subtle signals the body once sent become harder to sense after 60. According to the National Institute on Aging, blood vessels in the pelvic area tend to narrow, lose elasticity, and experience a noticeable decline in nitric oxide production, which is essential for helping blood vessels relax and expand. The outcome is that this vital area is no longer nourished properly, and signs such as reduced vitality, dull physical awareness, or slower response to stimulation often begin from there. During my research and consultations, I once met a man named Robert, age 67, a retired teacher. He shared that he no longer felt the same sense of liveliness each morning. Everything seemed fine, but the feeling was slowly fading. When I guided him to use castor oil, a cold-pressed oil made from castor seeds, by warming it and gently massaging the lower abdomen 3 times a week, he did not expect much. But after nearly a month, Robert returned with a gentle smile and said, "I'm not sure what changed, but every morning when I wake up, it feels like my body is waking up with me." Castor oil contains a natural compound called ricinoleic acid, which helps soften tiny capillaries under the skin and gently enhances blood flow without causing strong stimulation. This is not an instant fix, but rather a gentle process that slowly awakens life in each cell. Because when blood begins to flow to the right place and in the right rhythm, vitality will naturally return. The second benefit, softening fibrous tissue. There are changes that quietly take place inside the body, invisible to the naked eye. Yet, they deeply affect a man's physical awareness and confidence. One such change is the buildup of fibrous tissue in the lower abdomen, a natural response of the body to ongoing minor injuries, chronic inflammation, or mechanical tension that has not been properly released. Over time, the soft, elastic tissue gradually gets replaced by stiff collagen fibers, forming dense fibrous bands. This is why many men over 60 begin to feel that their lower abdomen becomes less flexible, with a sense of tightness, reduced mobility, and most importantly, a loss of the natural softness they were once familiar with. I still remember a man named Daniel, age 71, a former military officer with a strong physique whose voice grew quieter as he shared, "It doesn't hurt, but it feels uncomfortable. Something inside just doesn't feel the same anymore. After learning that this condition is common among older men and that it is not irreversible, he began using castor oil as a supportive method for tissue recovery. Castor oil, with its ricinoleic acid content, can penetrate deeply into the layers beneath the skin, reaching the stiffened collagen fibers that have lost their elasticity. When gently warmed and applied through consistent massage 3 to 4 times a week, the oil helps soften these hardened fibers, supports the natural breakdown of internal scar tissue, and restores flexibility to the soft tissue layers. 6 weeks later, Daniel returned to the clinic with a brighter look in his eyes and a short but deeply felt sentence: "I feel like I'm regaining control." This change came not only from physical sensation, but also from a renewed trust in his own body. That is the beginning of healing, because sometimes what we need is not a complicated solution, but a little patience and the right kind of care in the right place, so the body has a chance to heal itself. The third benefit: reducing silent inflammation. There are times when you do not feel pain or soreness, yet your body quietly tells you that something is not quite right. It may come as a sense that your lower abdomen is gradually tightening, losing flexibility, and no longer expanding the way it used to. You can still move around, eat normally, but somewhere deep inside, it feels like a door is slowly closing. Many people cannot name this sensation, but those who have experienced it know it very clearly. In fact, this condition may stem from long-term, low-grade inflammation in the pelvic region, something that medicine refers to as asymptomatic chronic inflammation. According to the American Urological Association, nearly 40% of men over 60 show signs of mild chronic inflammation in the pelvic area, prostate, or the connective tissues surrounding the urinary system. This is not the type of inflammation that causes swelling or burning. Instead, it is a slow process that makes muscle tissue stiff, reduces blood circulation, and gradually lowers the sensitivity of nerves in the area. The body begins to lose the subtle signals it once clearly recognized. I remember a man named Michael, age 66, who came in for a visit without any specific symptoms. He simply said, very slowly, "I don't feel pain, but it feels like I'm shrinking from the inside." That sentence caught my attention. After an examination, I advised him to use castor oil to help soothe the inflamed area. This oil not only has antioxidant properties, but also helps soften hardened, inflamed tissues by penetrating deep into the connective layers. Michael began using the oil 3 evenings a week, along with a warm cloth placed over the lower abdomen to support absorption. After 3 weeks, he returned and shared softly, "I feel like my body is slowly opening up." That is a sign that the body is starting to respond again when cared for properly. And the beautiful truth is, even the areas that have been silent for a long time can come back to life if we listen and stay patient. The fourth benefit: stimulating nerve activity. Many people over the age of 60 carry a feeling that is difficult to put into words. They do not feel pain. They are not numb. Yet, they sense that they are slowly disconnecting from their own body. Little by little, the sharp responses they once had now seem to fade. Instead of fully experiencing each moment, they feel like they are going through the motions like a machine. The issue is not about function. It is about the loss of connection between sensation and emotion, between body and mind. This often stems from the gradual weakening of peripheral nerves in the lower abdominal region. This area contains a high concentration of extremely delicate nerve endings. When blood circulation declines, when the surrounding tissue loses elasticity, or when low-grade inflammation persists over time. These nerve endings begin to fall silent. And as that silence continues, the sense of vitality fades with it. I remember a man named Larry, age 70, who once spoke in a very soft voice. I still do everything, but inside I feel empty. My body reacts, but I don't feel anything. That sentence left me speechless. After ruling out other medical factors, I guided him to use castor oil as a gentle support method. With its deep absorption and natural anti-inflammatory properties, castor oil helps create a favorable environment for nerve activity to return while softening the surrounding tissue to reopen the flow of signals from within. Larry used it consistently at night, 3 times a week, without expecting much. 1 month later, he came back and said with emotion, "I felt something again, not clearly, but it was real." That was the first step in his journey of regaining deep sensation and the mind-body connection that had once been forgotten. The 5th benefit, rejuvenating sensitive skin. Very few people realize that one of the quiet yet deeply impactful changes to vitality in later life comes from the skin itself. As we age, the skin in the lower abdomen and around the urinary system becomes increasingly sensitive due to a decline in collagen, reduced blood circulation, and lower hormone levels. The skin in this area starts to become drier, thinner, more easily irritated, and loses its natural elasticity. This not only causes discomfort in daily activities, but also makes many people feel more hesitant about their own bodies. Frank, age 73, is a very real example. He did not complain about joint pain or urinary issues. He simply said something that sounded small. The skin down here is not the same anymore. It's thin, dry, easily irritated. Just turning over makes it uncomfortable. That is a feeling no one else can see. But the person experiencing it feels very clearly. When I suggested he use castor oil as a natural moisturizer each night, he followed the advice patiently. Castor oil not only hydrates the skin, but also penetrates deeply to nourish the remaining delicate collagen fibers. 3 times a week, he gently applied a thin layer, warmed it, and let it sit for a few minutes. After nearly a month, Frank returned and calmly said, "Now I'm no longer afraid of the skin stinging when I move. I feel safer." That sense of safety helped him move more freely, sleep more deeply, and feel more energetic during the day. Healthy skin is the first line of defense for inner vitality, and when the skin is properly cared for, all internal functions become easier to restore. Castor oil is a gift from nature, but its full benefits only come when it is used correctly. Especially for older adults, trying a new self-care method may come with hesitation or even embarrassment. I once met a man named Gerald, age 69, who smiled and jokingly said, after I mentioned castor oil, "And where exactly do you want me to use that?" Doctor. His words were lighthearted, but they reflected a very real mindset. That is why what matters is not just using the oil, but doing so with an open mind, patience, and the right technique. First, choose pure, cold-pressed castor oil without added fragrance or preservatives. This ensures that all active compounds remain intact and are gentle on sensitive skin. Before using, place a few drops in your palm and rub them together to warm the oil, or set the bottle in a cup of warm water for a few minutes. Once the oil reaches a comfortable temperature, gently apply it to the lower abdomen around the urinary area, or any region that feels in need of support. Use your fingertips to move in small circular motions. Do not press hard. Think of it as having a quiet conversation with your body through each movement. If possible, place a warm towel over the area where the oil was applied and lie still for 10 to 15 minutes. The combination of warmth and oil helps nutrients reach deeper layers of tissue. Maintain this routine consistently, 3 to 4 times per week, preferably in the evening before bed, so the body has time to rest and absorb fully. After a month of following this routine, Gerald said something I will never forget. I didn't just feel my body changing. I felt like I was becoming friends with myself again. Because the real benefit does not come only from the oil itself, but from how we reconnect with our body through every small moment of care. Throughout my years working with older men, what saddens me most is not those who face serious issues, but those who give up too soon, just when their body is beginning to listen. Many people try castor oil with the hope that after only a few uses, they will see noticeable results. They use it once or twice, become disappointed when nothing changes quickly, and then stop. But the aging body is not a switch that can be turned on or off. Every change, every recovery requires time, rhythm, and above all, patience. Thomas, a 72-year-old man, was once very disciplined in both work and daily routine. He ate on time, slept on schedule, and exercised regularly. But when he started using castor oil, he became impatient. After 5 days, he said, I don't feel anything. Maybe it's not for me. When I explained that healing of tissue, nerves, and skin cannot happen in just a few days, his expression softened. I suggested he continue for 3 more weeks, not with expectation, but simply as a calming bedtime routine. 4 weeks later, Thomas returned with a calm voice and eyes that carried a quiet depth. He said, I don't know what happened, but I don't feel rushed anymore. My body is starting to respond. And more importantly, I no longer feel stressed with myself. That is the true nature of recovery. The body only begins to listen when we truly give it enough time to respond. There is nothing magical here, just a living process, slowly finding its way back. And the only thing you need is not to give up too early when what you have done is only the first hello to your own self. There are changes that cannot be seen with the naked eye, yet they echo deeply within a man. It is not about a clear decline in function, but rather the quiet feeling of becoming unfamiliar with your own body. One day, you wake up and realize that the deep sense of connection is no longer there. You still work, move, and go about your routine, but you no longer feel truly present in those actions. Emotions become silent. The body whispers signals that you are no longer sensitive enough to hear. Over years of working with patients, I have learned that what troubles them most is not physical decline, but the sense of having lost a silent part of their identity they once held on to. Some part of them wants to return. They want to believe their body can still recover, that it can still listen and respond to care when used correctly. Castor oil is not just a medium for improving circulation, reducing inflammation, or restoring sensation. It is like a gentle whisper to your body, saying that you have not abandoned it. When your hands touch your skin, when the slow, steady massage takes place each night in quiet stillness, that is also the moment you begin to reconnect with a part of yourself that had faded. This is not a treatment. It is a ritual for emotional recovery and restored trust. And when trust is awakened, everything else begins to fall back into rhythm. That is when you not only see your body respond, but you also feel yourself stepping back into life with a deeper presence day by day. There are journeys that do not begin with a major event, but with a very quiet moment. A moment when you realize your body is slowing down. Your sensations are fading, and your confidence feels a little more fragile each morning you wake up. But the truth is, nothing is ever truly lost. The body only needs a signal gentle enough to awaken its inner rhythm, and that signal can come from something simpler than you might imagine. A small bottle of oil, a warm hand, a steady evening routine. Castor oil is not a miracle secret, nor is it a replacement for medical care. It is a gentle bridge that reconnects your body with yourself. With every use, you are not only caring for your skin or supporting circulation, you are also telling yourself that you still deserve to be heard, to be restored, to be valued. Restoring vitality is not a distant goal. It is a process that begins from within. It does not come from pressure, but from gentle companionship each day. You do not need to change the world. You only need to change how you care for yourself for a few minutes each evening. Even a small habit can bring back a sense of aliveness. Your body is still waiting for you to return, and that journey can begin today. If you found this message helpful, please share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights on herbs, nutrition, and wellness methods for healthy aging. Every small action you take today lays the foundation for a stronger and more fulfilling life tomorrow.